Right, man. If you often find yourself being pissed off at the fact that your day doesn't go perfectly as you planned it, that you will actually find some things that will be very inconvenient along the way, that will make you waste some time in certain places doing certain things, then I understand you completely, man, because this is exactly the way that I am myself, and I'm going to try my best to explain some ideas that I've come to understand somewhat along the way, but I'm still getting used to myself. So I understand if you won't be able to just fully incorporate those ideas immediately, it's still hard for me to do it right now. Right, so firstly, you need to understand that things will not always go your way, right? There will always be things that will be very inconvenient throughout your day that you haven't planned. Things that you wouldn't have expected to happen, but they happen anyway. You end up wasting like half an hour just staring at your wall. You end up doing some stupid thing that just lasts a bit longer than it should. Certain people interrupt you throughout the day. Like, all of these things can happen, man. No matter how much you try and no matter how much you'd like to have a perfect day, right? Everybody would love it, right? Everybody would love to be on time, on point, on schedule with every single little thing that they do. Like, that'd be amazing, man. That would be perfect, but it never happens. Right, I'm sorry, especially if you're going on this journey of improving yourself and you really have high standards for yourself, man. Like, I really think that I sometimes tend to place myself on very high standards. I have very high expectations for myself. And oftentimes when I do not perform at these very high expectations that I've set out, I feel very bad about myself. I feel miserable about myself. For example, today I woke up at 7 a.m., right? I usually used to wake up at 5 a.m. before, and then 5:30 a.m., and then 6 a.m., and then 6:30 a.m., and here I am today. I woke up at 7 a.m. I literally felt so stupid and so bad in the morning when I saw the clock. But I realized, and I tried to force this idea in my mind, even though I didn't really want to accept that. My pride didn't want to accept that. Things will not always go your way, man. Things will not always be perfect. And I have to perform, and I have to do my work even when things won't be perfect. Like, there's been plenty of times, especially with this example of waking up early, when I've not woken up at times that I was very, very content with and happy with. Right? It always happened. And before, I used to be very pissed off, like I used to just throw like a little tantrum in the morning when I see the clock and it was late. Like, I would literally just perform like a little child, right? I would literally just, smash my bell like that and be like, no, 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 and I'd be very pissed off. Like, that is so stupid, right? Imagine that. Imagine like a almost full grown adult just, acting like a little baby because he didn't get to wake up early. Maybe my haircut also helps me resemble a baby. I don't know. But you can imagine just how childish I felt, and how stupid I felt, and how powerless I felt when I would just constantly see the clock being later and later and later. And of course, the fault is not all on fate. The fault is not all on the fact that, things won't always go your way. I have a level of influence over what is going on. I have a level of control over what is going on. And you need to understand that although things will not always go your way, you have to do your best. You have to focus and you have to try your best to make things go your way. Even if you might realistically know that they will not, you need to try to make it so that even if you know that your day won't be perfect, you can at least push in like 80% of your day with like a lot of effort, with a lot of concentration, a lot of focus. You can push in 80% of your day right, which is a big achievement, by the way. 80% of your day, that's a huge achievement. And so instead of doing what I previously used to do when things wouldn't go my way, and what I still sometimes feel very tempted to do, right? Instead of getting pissed off at the fact that there's a lot of inconveniences happening and that you're not performing it perfectly, and that you're not performing at these very high standards that you set for yourself, instead of having your entire day ruined by the fact that you couldn't really wake up at the time that you wanted to wake up, instead of letting that influence your day negatively throughout completely, we need to have the maturity as men, as young men on self-improvement who are trying to do more to be better human beings, to control their emotions. We need to have the maturity to say that, you know what, I messed up. I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm going to try my best to not let this happen again. And I understand that there are chances that something like this might happen in the future again. And when it does, I'm going to be mature about it. I'm not going to start whining like a little wuss, like a little kid. And I'm going to try to make the best out of my day, of what I have left. I'm going to ambition myself. I'm going to push myself to do more throughout my day so that I can compensate for the fact that I didn't wake up early, for example. So I can compensate for the fact that I didn't have a great workout. So I can compensate for the fact that my videos recently, I feel like, are not that great. Just an example. You want to compensate those failures that you have, like those inconveniences that you face along the way, that you will inevitably face, with more maturity from you, more emotional maturity and more wins throughout your day, more things done right, more things done well, more things done perfectly, right? So that you can feel like, although you've had all of these fails throughout the day, I've still also been able to do things that I've been proud of. So that at the end of the day, you don't just look at your habit tracker and feel like, right, so just because of the fact, for example, I didn't wake up early today, I didn't wake up exactly at the time that I wanted to wake up at, my entire habit tracker this day is empty because I just felt so pissed off and so mad at myself that I just completely gave up on everything. Or at least I did one or two habits when I could have done so many more things. But no, just because I let all of this stupid emotional immaturity get to me, I wasted an entire day. Don't let that happen, man. Have some maturity for yourself. You should try to reach a certain point where you can create a realistic routine for your day, for like a normal day for you, right? And I say realistic is because you don't want to be overly egotistical and just try to expect every single day to be perfect. Because a lot of people think like that. A lot of people live like this. They go on YouTube, they go on Instagram, they go on whatever social media platform or whatever people they know in real life, and they hear all of these things and they see all of these people just doing great, like being fully on their routine all the time, being like, oh yeah, another day waking up at 4:30 a.m. like Jocko Willink or something. Oh yeah, having a great workout, look at my six packs. Oh yeah, I'm amazing, like look at me, bro, my diet is perfect all the time, amazing. Bro, if you're gonna go on social media, if you're gonna listen to all of these people who talk like this, I assure you that you're never gonna be happy. I assure you that you will always feel like these people are so much better than you. You'll feel like you're just a failure, that you're just performing at your lowest, and these people, they're like top 1%, they're amazing, right? Well, maybe some of them are, but what you need to understand is that those people do not talk about their losses, their fails throughout the day, the things that they don't manage to get right. Everybody, because we are all egotistical to some extent, right? We all have pride. We tend to talk more about the things we've achieved. I'm not gonna tell you all that many things about all the times when I have accidentally eaten sugar throughout like the past year that I've quit sugar, right? There's been many times where I just accidentally stumbled upon something and I was eating something and then I realized, piss, this has sugar in it. Nobody tells you about all of these small fails that you have throughout the day. Everybody just wants to sound perfect. Oh, I quit sugar and I haven't touched sugar ever since. No, man, I have touched it. That's just the truth. Like, things will not always go your way. But there is a difference between, yeah, I've touched it a little bit because, sometimes you will not realize that things have sugar in it until you realize and you learn and you try not to make the same mistake again. And being like an absolute wuss and be like, oh man, I touched a bit of sugar. I might as well just eat the cake because, I messed up my diet anyway, bro. I ate like 2 grams of sugar, bro. Like, I messed up my diet, bro. Try to make the best out of your day, man. Try to be realistic about what could go on throughout your day. For example, I think my realistic routine could be that I would wake up at around somewhere at 6 a.m., right? 5 a.m., I think it's just too damn much to be able to do that every single day, and just kind of have it at a realistic point. And 7 a.m., like, that's already just too low for me, man. Like, I feel pissed off. If I were to wake up every day at 7 a.m., I'd feel very pissed off, right? I understand that sometimes things won't always go my way. For example, today, right? I've not been able to wake up at 6 a.m. And you should be realistic with all of the things throughout your routine. Like, I've done this mistake so many damn times, when I would write down a routine, like the perfect day routine, bro, I would never follow it. I have a routine on my phone screen that I don't even follow, man. It's because, I just feel like that's just way too much, man. That's like way too much information, like the perfect day seems way too big, And then whenever I think about all the times when things don't go my way, because, I have like handball practice today from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and I have to like go with the bike and I have to come back with the bike, so that's like an extra hour and a half spent on the bike. And then you see the perfect routine and you realize that you're not going to be able to do like half of it. You just feel so damn pissed off, right? And so I don't even follow it, bro. Like, I just do what I know I can do throughout the day. I just do what I feel like I have the possibility to do throughout the day, and I try to do it as seriously as I possibly can. Recently, it's just that I've realized that there's certain things that just kind of align into some sort of realistic routine themselves, right? So for example, whenever I wake up like between 6 and 7 a.m., right? That's usually the time that I wake up. All right, I wake up and then I go straight and I record my videos and I edit my videos. And after that, depending on the day, depending on what the activities are, whether I have handball practice or something else, if I have handball practice, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna do other activities until I have handball practice, right? But if I don't have handball practice and if it's like a clear day for me, then I'm just gonna like do my exercises at home. I'm just gonna do the things that I have to do at home. And then I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna eat like brunch because I don't eat breakfast and lunch. It's just too much. I eat 2 meals a day usually, right? I eat brunch with my family and then I go straight and I do other things, right? Like I read, I journal, I study. Like these are things that I do throughout my day. And I try to go to sleep somewhere around 9 p.m., right? Because that is the most realistic. So I can get a decent amount of sleep in. So if you can find some sort of realistic routine that you could actually, without that much effort stick to, and along the way you could add some extra things in, that'd be great. But don't be overly egotistical and think to yourself, oh, like I can wake up at 5 a.m. and I can have like this minute sharp routine every single day, you're not going to be able to do that, man. And you're only going to disappoint yourself more. I mean, I know we all have high expectations, right? We all have high standards. And I'm not telling you, just kind of lower these standards, lower the expectations, act like a little wuss. No, I'm just telling you, man, you need to have patience with yourself. I've been on self-improvement for 2 years and I still cannot reach the standards that I set for myself. But it's only recently that I've been able to learn more about being patient. What matters even more is being consistent in certain kind of habits, right? Not just doing them perfectly every single day, but being consistent. Because most people out there are not even consistent. Most people out there want to have the perfect routine, but they're not even doing the certain habit in itself at all. Don't be overly egotistical, be realistic and optimistic. So yeah, man, I really hope that you've gained some value from this video. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel where I make self-improvement videos about what I've learned throughout my 2 years almost of self-improvement. You can like this video, you can share this video with other people who you think will also be able to gain some value from this. You can join my self-improvement Discord server, they will be linked to that in the description of this video. And also, if you want to go on a free self-improvement one-to-one coaching call with me, where we can talk about self-improvement tips and advice and everything regarding self-improvement, all you have to do is you have to click the Calendly link in the description of this video. So yeah, man. We all have high expectations, man. Sometimes you're not going to be able to reach those high expectations just perfectly, right? We're going to have days when things are not going to be perfect. Keep that in mind. Good luck, man. See ya.